So, hi everybody, welcome to the EPTL Podcast, episode number 5. I have with me somebody very special. I have with me an A-list player, a player that is A-listed in what might prove to be EPTL's most fiercest season so far. I have with me Mr. Visakh VS, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, sir. He is, of course, a very special player. He is an engineer with close to 2 decades of experience in the corporate sector. He was highest auctioned Maric player in the EPTL 2. I was there in the auction. He was, of course, there was like a huge bidding war for him, and he is a distinguished individual who's represented India in 2 sports. He's represented India in the 35 plus World Tennis Masters Championship in 23 held in Turkey, and he's represented India in Asian Open 2022 pickleball, which is of course an emerging sports. Pickleball is also sports for us in SPSL, which we are going to be launching very soon. So, welcome to you. You're also a certified tennis professional from ATP, ITA, ITF, and AATC. So, you've had multiple plethora of experiences as a tennis player. Let's just talk about how you started with your experience. How did you pick up the racket at the very first instance?
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. It's always a proud moment listening to someone reading out your achievements and what tennis has given to you as a player. So I'm extremely grateful and thank you for sharing that. And now, first of all, I must say that I am extremely excited to be part of this season of Engineers Premier Tennis League. Unfortunately, I had to miss out the last season due to my personal commitments. But after talking to Virendra ji, who is one of the founders of this EPTL, I have decided that I will definitely do everything possible in my capacity to be part of this season. And I'm glad that I got the invitation and I was able to represent myself as a player and got picked up in Uday Valley team. So I'm really looking forward to this season. Now coming to when I have picked up the racket. So this goes a long way. I picked up the racket at the age of 10. So close to 3 decades now. So I started playing in Trivandrum Tennis Club in Kerala. We have around 9 tennis courts there. So it's one of the best tennis facility anywhere you will find in India. So it was a really proud moment for me to actually start playing tennis in a facility like that. And there were a number of coaches who were there to guide me along the way, help me, and make me a better player throughout my journey so far. So looking back now, I am thankful to everyone who have actually played a part in my tennis journey so far. Yeah.
So, I wanted to ask you a very simple question about your EPTL experience in season number 1. I know that you missed it out, but I'm sure you must have heard certain stories from your compatriots, your fellow players. What did you make of EPTL season number 1 by the words of your fellow teammates?
Engineering is a profession for all the people who are going to be part of this EPTL, even in season 2. And tennis is a passion for most of us. So it's our profession meeting the passion. That's the way I look at it. So you will see a lot of like-minded individuals coming along. You will see people having diverse, different perspectives. Even in their professional as well as in their personal career, right? So for me, after listening to some of the stories from the first season, I came to know that it was a festival of few days where the like-minded tennis enthusiasts who are engineers by profession came along, created a good network, created great rapport, and some of them have become friends forever. So for more than the competitive spirit, I see the camaraderie, I see the closeness, I see the community of tennis players coming along to do good for tennis in essence to our country is what I look at EPTL. And last season, I know they had a humble beginning, but even though they made it really successful, this season I came to know that there were around 300 players who have registered for this competition all over India. Now, with the kind of rigor that the founders are putting in, as well as the organizing committee, I'm pretty sure that this will probably go into international arena very soon. So very, very happy with my association as a player to EPTL.
I want to really ask you, you are an A plus player, and I know that you have a lot of burden on your shoulders to prove your worth, right? Because you have a very high price tag associated with you. How do you reckon that happening? How do you come up with the expectations of the team owner, especially your team, who's bought you for a very expensive purchase tag? How do you wish to prove your worth?
Yeah, so I have basically started preparing for the season 2 already. I wanted to give my level best for the confidence the Uday Valley owner has bestowed on me. So whether it is playing on the court, or whether it is for taking any strategies or for tactical decisions even outside of the court, I am up for anything. I am there for anything that my team needs for proving their mark in this season. So I'm game for that.
I mean, I'm really interested to know what do you make of the other teams? Have you had a chance to look at the other teams? Because I'm sure you were looking at the auction very, very keenly on YouTube, when we live streamed it. So, I want to understand what was going through your mind, when you were looking at your name on the screen, getting live streamed on YouTube, and of course, people bidding for it. What did you think of that?
Yeah, so there was a lot of excitement on the air when this was streamed live on YouTube. I was glued to the YouTube screen while the auction was happening. And what I could make out is there are so many talented players out there, highly skilled players who are engineers by profession. And it's something that you don't usually see where, people are busy in their professional life, because engineers are the architects of society and they are the architects of humanity, right? So I know how demanding their professions can be, but the way some of the the players the achievement track that they have and the kind of skill set that they possess, I'm sure that this is going to be a highly competitive and electric season. I know some players personally as well. I know the kind of performance and the achievements that they have. So it's going to be an excitement season for sure. And at the end of the day, it's a team game. So it's not an individual who is going to make their team successful. It's all about how the team together. It's all about how the team strategize together and support each other and cover their backs and then come come out victoriously. I mean, it's going to be a team game for sure. And I have been part of other leagues as well in the past, and that's the beauty of this sport. I mean, at the end of the day, you will definitely make friends for sure from this.
You mentioned other leagues. I really want to ask you about what difference do you take? And I know you wanted to attend the season one, but you couldn't. But now that you're definitely going to come and attend the season two, what difference have you seen from other leagues compared to this particular league? Do you reckon that EPTL in particular is very प्लेयर ओरिएंटेड, मतलब खिलाड़ियों के लिए ज़्यादा वो बाकी लीग्स के कंपैरिजन में कर रहे हैं एज अपोज टू द टू अदर लीग्स वन वुड से?
So there is a lot of uniqueness that I can see in this league. So one of the main uniqueness is the tagline of being having this league for engineers, right? Engineers and architects. So you don't have any other league that at least I am aware of in India where people of same profession come together and then they sort of be a part of the league, right? So I have never seen that. So that in itself is a major unique factor that this league has. And the other thing that I can see is the grand auction that the organizers have conducted. Is something that you will see only in international or Premier Leagues. Something of the stature of Indian Premier League is what the organizers pulled off during the auction. That is again something that you don't usually see in any of the local leagues. And most importantly, and the third thing that I want to mainly highlight is about the kind of attention and the kind of care the organizers have given for each and every players. Whether you are an A plus player or whether you are a C player or D player, doesn't matter. They were always there for any queries or anything that needs attention from all the players. I mean, it starts even from the WhatsApp group that they have created for any discussions and any queries that anyone has. So I can see that the organizers doing an incredible job to take this to the next level, and anyone who is going to associate with this is going to definitely get something or the other out of it. So yeah, very very pleased to see this happening in this league.
I think it's absolutely true that you say that, because not only is EPTL catering to the players, because it is absolutely player centric ही है ये league, but it also caters to other stakeholders as well, including the team owners, including the sponsors. We are doing our level best to make sure that we come up with a league that not only is good for the players but also every stakeholder involved. By the way, for players, I want to ask you, sir, in this particular season, players are going to have their own physiotherapists. There's going to be a physiotherapy team on court helping the teams. What do you think of a decision like that as opposed to other leagues that are out there? Do you think that that's a very natural thing that you would observe in a league like EPTL, but not in other leagues for that matter?
I think having a physiotherapy team around the clock during the event is definitely needed because even though even though it's a 4 day or 5 day event, still that players will have to go through a lot of mental and physical grinding on the court, right? So it's not going to be easy. There will be players who will be playing the league, and there will be some who will be playing both the singles and the doubles events as well. So it's going to be a hectic overall few days. So having a physiotherapy team around giving the necessary attention, care and support to the players is definitely going to help everyone around. And I mean, as a player, I know that it also gives me that confidence boost to go into the court, knowing that there is always there someone who can help me out if something or the other happens inadvertently. So yeah, so it's a great move by the organizers to have something like that on the court to support the fellow players. Yeah.
So, as an A plus player, you also have the responsibility to uplift the performance of the other C, D, B players, who are out there. Because so you're going to be the only A plus player, right? Then there are A, B, C, and D, and there'll be multiple. How do you plan to cheer them up? How do you plan to improve their performances? Because EPTL, this particular format is a team uh, format. It is not an individual format. How do you wish to cheer them up? What have you planned to lift their performances?
To me, the performance of every single team member is going to be valuable in this event. Whether they are playing on the court or whether they are supporting the team from outside, it's all going to ultimately matter for the team's morale. So I am actually going to look up to each and everyone in the team and understand what their strategy is for the team, what they want to bring to the table, how they can be as competitive as possible on the field. I would like to listen to all the players who are part of our team, understand how best they can go to the next level on the court. I mean, I would ultimately want everyone to sort of come together and do their level best for our team to, flutter our team's flag high at the end of the season. So that's what I am looking for.
Okay, that's excellent. I'll just ask you one last question. What is your message to the other rival teams? What is your mindset and what is your message coming in as the highest bot player in the auction? I'm sure every single one's going to, have that pressure. Do you feel the pressure on you? And if so, what is your message to the other rival teams?
You know what? There is this thing that I always take it to by heart. Pressure is a privilege. So as long as I can play and as long as I can feel the pressure on the court, it's a privilege for me. And the moment that I can spend on the court, I will try to make it as memorable for me as well as for my team. Now, for the rival teams, I'm pretty sure you will be keeping some or the other tricks in your arsenal, but Uday Valley team is coming to get you, and we are out there, and we'll come behind you, and we will prove that we can come out as the winners of the season. So we will do our level best.
I love it. I love the humility combined with, that fierce competitiveness that you have. I mean, you want to make sure that pressure is privilege for you, but you also want to make sure that the other players and the other teams knows that you're out there to get them. It's very important, and this competitiveness and fierceness is the very spirit of EPTL. I would like to thank Mr. Visakh, who's a true gentleman and a humble soul inside and outside of the court. I really do hope to see you on the venue J Club on 5th of October. By the way, we've expanded our venues to three now. We have
All right.
SMS Stadium, J Club, and Rajasthan University as well. So we'll be going out there and we'll be playing in three particular venues, but the main event would happen in J Club itself. Thank you again, Mr. Visakh, for joining us. Thank you for everybody who have tuned in. Stay tuned for other such wonderful episodes of the EPTL podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prashant. It has been really a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.